Today we're going to check out the Joe Walsh Double Classic.
In 20 seconds.
This is the Joe Walsh Double Classic. It combines a compressor and classic amp circuit. It comes packaged in its own custom cooler bag and includes a one-spot power supply. Let's check it out.
This is the analogalien Joe Walsh Double Classic. It's a signature pedal that we make for Joe Walsh. It has a compressor and a classic amp built into it with a pre-post switch that will actually put the compressor pre or post the classic amp circuit. The compressor is a very natural sounding, smooth compressor. It's one of those compressors that really just enhances anything that you put through it. So today we're using actually a Gretsch Jr guitar with Filtertron pickups, and we're running it into a Sovtek Midget 50 amplifier with a tone tubby 10-inch speaker and a small cabinet. So here's the bypassed clean tone. Now we're going to engage the compressor, which has 3 controls: sensitivity, which is actually a voltage regulator, the ratio, which goes from 2 to 1 to 10 to 1, and then the output of the compressor itself. So when I kick the compressor in, you're going to hear the guitar actually sound fuller and richer, and all the notes will actually jump out a little bit more, and they'll be a little bit more defined. So if you can hear that. So you can hear what that does for the actual chord and the individual picking notes. This is great if you're doing chicken picking, or you want to just smooth out your picking in general, or your chord tones, the notes in the chord when you're strumming full. Engaged. So I can increase the sensitivity and squash it a little bit more with the ratio, but I don't like to overcompress. It's just a personal preference with me. But you can still hear how smooth the compressor is. I'll increase the output. Back off. I'm actually overdriving the amp at this point, because you can use this as a clean boost, so I want to back off of that and sensitivity increase and get my compression back. So without it, I'll play those chords again. So you can really hear what the compressor does for it. Now let's get to the classic amp. So this, unlike the rumble seat, which just has one tone control, we incorporated an independent control for bass and treble, which has quite a wide sweep to it. There's this low gain setting right now, so you're hearing a little bit of gain. You can increase the treble, the bass. It's kind of too much for me, so you can back it off. But you can really cut and boost with this EQ. It's very good. It's very flexible, very sensitive. So right here sounds the best to me. For this guitar, it's always a matter of preference. It depends on what you're looking for, what amp you're using, and it also depends on what guitar you have, and the output of the pickups too. That all factors into how you adjust the EQ when you set it. And if you notice, you can really hear the individual notes in the chord. The chords aren't mushy, and the notes aren't mushy. You can hear how full the chord is, which is typical of all our overdrive circuits. They're not personality vacuums. They don't suck the life out of the chord or out of your guitar's tone. You can really hear it's still a Gretsch, and if I plug a Stratocaster into this, or a Telecaster, an SG, or anything really, you'll still hear the guitar, which is very important. Increase the gain. So we can also set the compressor like this and keep it pre, and we can boost into the classic amp. So if we want to just push the amp a little bit more, the amp side of this, you can do that. So you can do that as much or as little as you'd like. If you want more overdrive, you just increase the output of the compressor. And also what's very handy, we mentioned before, you have a pre-post switch. So now the compressor has been pre the classic amp. Now we'll put the compressor post the amp, and we'll use the classic amp to actually boost the compressor and EQ into the compressor, which comes in handy. So this is pre. Here's post. So you can hear the tone change because we're actually EQing into the compressor, and we're also, the gain stage is different. It's not coming directly from the guitar. The guitar is now going through the classic amp and then into the compressor. So because both circuits are in the pedal and they're fixed, it really comes in handy to have a little switch that takes the compressor and puts it pre or post the classic amp. So that's the Joe Walsh Double Classic. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Thanks for watching, and please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Just click on the little bell below so you won't miss a thing.
For more information about Analog Alien guitar pedals, you can check us out at analogalien.com.
Thanks again for tuning in, and remember,
Sound different.